On today's episode of Garmin Behind the Chartplotter, we're talking Sons of Fishes, music, and Ice Ice Baby. So stay tuned for our brand new edition.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about all the things Garmin has got you through. We can talk about lakes and the ocean too. 'Cause our host Dow and John wanna hear about the fishing you do. 'Cause we took our Garmin to the ends of the sea. The radar led us where we needed to be. Nothing we can't find in all the water. We wanna hear about the holes and the beds and the reef, the keepers and the roughs and the catch and release. Let's talk about everything from reel to bobber. Behind the Chartplotter. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Garmin's Marine Podcast, Behind the Chartplotter, where we talk to pro anglers, industry insiders, and today a very special guest. We're your host. I'm Dow Thornton.
And I'm John Spittle.
Hey, John, normally I give a big shout out to Marty Ray and the Marty Ray Project for that great song, but I don't need to do that today. So why don't you go on and tell us who we have joining us today?
Yeah, thanks, Dow. So today our special guest was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and grew up in a small town in Arkansas. He was always the funniest, scariest guy in any room growing up, and still is. He's been singing and writing songs since he was a young boy. Let's welcome singer, songwriter, actor, and director Marty Ray to Behind the Chartplotter. Welcome, Marty.
Man, thanks for having me. It's a blessing. It's a great introduction. It's almost like somebody I know wrote it. How y'all doing?
Great, Marty. Yeah, thanks again for joining us. Hey, Dow, how about we get to these hard-hitting questions right off the bat?
Sounds good. Sounds good, John. Marty, first of all, a lot of people know you from the Sons of Fishes commercial. How did you get involved with Garmin, and how was it making those commercials?
Well, I got involved with Garmin just because of an audition. My agent sent an audition, and I auditioned for it. Then they had callbacks. I went to the callback, and the director and I became really good friends. I don't know if he's still directing, but he directed the two that I was involved with. But the first time we met, I was at the callback, and he came over there, and he was like, "I just want to let you know that if it's completely up to me, then this is definitely your job because I love what you did and yada yada yada." And so that's really great. And then it turned out that somebody at Garmin was already a fan of mine. So when they were apparently watching the audition tapes back at Garmin's, I guess, headquarters or wherever, one of the guys that works there came by and he goes, "That's Marty Ray." And they said, "Yeah, it is Marty Ray. How do you know?" And he told them, who I was and things like that. So then they ended up telling me at that audition, at the callback, that guy was a fan of mine. And so then I got the role, and then they did another one years later. And the director reached out to me on Instagram and said he'd like to have me back. So I said, for sure. But it was a blast working with Bill Dance and getting to meet him. He's an uncle to me. I call him Uncle Bill now. So he's the one that taught me how to fish. I actually wrote a song called Bill Dance that we're supposed to be making a music video for at some point.
That would be great.
Yeah. It's going to be a really good song. It's a really good song already, but it'll be a really good music video.
Yeah, we had Bill on, I think our second or third episode, and he's such a great guy. And when he's in our booth at boat shows and things like that, man, he takes his time and he talks to everybody.
He's great with the kids. I mean, he really gets involved and asks them questions, and promotes fishing the best that he can, the best that I've ever seen anyone do. So,
how many people recognize you off that commercial?
I've never got anybody in person recognize me.
Right.
Never had anybody come up to me and say, "Hey, was you in a Garmin commercial?" But that they definitely have sent me. I've gotten several messages to my Facebook page, people saying, "Did I see you in a Garmin commercial?" And I said, Yeah, you did. 2 of them actually, probably.
Well, that's great. So now Bill Dance, he's fun to be around, but he's a jokester. So how many takes did you have with Bill when you were filming Sons of Fish's commercial?
Well, I'm pretty perfect, so there's only one take for me every time. So I don't know about those other guys, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just messing with you. But no, Bill, he was professional, and you could tell he's been doing this a long time. You could tell like he has no problem with the camera and knowing when to say what, and it's just about a matter of volume and things like that. So if there's another take with him, it's usually because they want him a little louder or a little softer or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I remember the first time that first commercial, I think, is 4 or 5 years old now. Looking back on it,
the very first one I wasn't involved with. The very first Sons of Fishes was around.
That's right. That's the one when they're in the
round table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I wasn't involved with that one. I was just involved with the last 2. Speaking of which, are they doing another one or no?
I hope.
Shoot, I hope so too. I need that money.
I hope so too.
We'll put a good word in for you.
We'll put a good word in, and you let us know, Marty.
Yeah. Hey, let's film it tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. So, hey, Marty. So you're talking about fishing with Bill and stuff. How much fishing do you do? I mean, was that a big part of your life growing up?
I would skip school to fish when I was growing up. Yeah. I wasn't an angler. You know what I mean? I say Bill Dance taught me to fish, but he really did more bass fishing than what kind of fishing I did. But he when I say taught me, it was just like he made me want to go fishing all the time. I watched him growing up, and I always wanted to be on the lake. And my dad really didn't have time to fish. He used to fish, but we always had a bass boat. So I would take my dad's bass boat out, or I'd get on the bank or whatever I could do to go fishing. I would leave school early and go fishing, but did mainly crappie and brim fishing, that type of thing. I kind of fished with a jig pole, so I'm probably not the most talented guy at actually fishing, but I sure have caught a lot of fish.
There you go. Well, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit of music. So I know you've been asked a lot about your cover of Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby. Well, why did you pick that song, and how much fun was it when you performed it with Vanilla Ice?
Well, I had already had a viral video. The first viral video I had was all about that beard, which is oddly enough a parody about beards. Can you believe it? I would do a parody about beards. The song, I don't know if y'all don't seem like the type that would listen to pop music, but the song was actually called All About That Bass. Are y'all familiar with that song?
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah.
See,
John just downloaded it the other day.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at y'all blasting Megan Trainor in over there in the studio.
I'm a Renaissance man there, Marty.
So we heard, I was driving down the road, riding down the road with my buddy who was a musician that played with me at the time. And this was before I had, many fans at all. I had one album that I spent every bit of money in my bank to make, and it wasn't selling. So we were riding down the road, and I had already started for years. I'd been writing these parody songs and making stupid videos and stuff like that. And when we were riding down the road, he goes, because all about that bass means it's talking about somebody that's thick, that's big, not skinny. Treble is skinny, bass is fat. So I shouldn't say fat, but when I refer to myself, I'm talking about fat. So he said, you're actually all about that bass and beard. And I said, you know what, you're right. I'm going to write that, all about that beard. So I took that song that was, I'm all about that bass, no treble. And I said, I'm all about that beard, no stubble, all about that beard, no stubble. So I said, and then I just wrote the whole thing about being fat and bearded. And next thing you know, I made this. I didn't really know how to make music videos at the time, but I rented a professional camera, and I said, I didn't know how to use it, but I tried my best, and I used that as a learning process. Didn't think that the video would actually do anything. I just thought, well, here's a video. This will be documentation. If it does something, good. If not, I'm learning, and I'll be able to look back and go, hey, look at the progression of what I've learned through the years. And that's kind of what it was. But in one day, on my personal Facebook page, because that's all I really had at the time. I didn't have a band page, didn't have a YouTube channel, that type of thing. I posted it there, and it had 2 million views in a day. And we didn't even really know it. My buddy and I, we were headed to Nashville from Memphis, doing an audition for something. I forgot what it was, some commercial that I didn't get, and he didn't get either. So it was that whole day was a wash. Other than the fact of driving home, we found out that video had 2 million views. So then I was at that point. I thought, well, now I'm famous. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm about to be rich. Okay, just so we're clear. I'm calling my dad. I'm saying, Daddy ain't towing cars no more. It's over. You understand me? Like, I'm a boss now. I'm my own boss. And he was like, okay, sure. And of course, I still tow cars for a couple of years. And but anyway, I really didn't call him. He would have known I was being stupid. But at that point, I thought, I need to be consistent now. If God put me here to do this, then we'll see. That's what I told myself, and I told the Lord. I said, hey, if you put me here to do this music thing, then we'll see. There's only one way that went viral, because it's not that good of a video. There's only one way, is because of you. So I said, all right, since you took that viral, I'll be consistent. And if you want me to do this, then you honor the effort. And so I just kept posting videos. And and I had skipped a couple of weeks not posting, and I hadn't posted in a while. And I said this on the original Ice Ice Baby post. I said in the description, the original one on my personal Facebook profile, I said, I have not posted in a while. Here's a song. I've been doing this. I've been playing around with this Ice Ice Baby acoustically. I hope y'all like it. If not, then, I'll post another one soon. Just wait, that type of thing. It was like a throwaway video, because I had been messing around with it. And I thought it was at 3:00 in the morning I posted this. So I thought this is an old song. This is a rap song. We all love it because of a rap song. Nobody's going to like this version, even though I do. Nobody's going to enjoy this. And lo and behold, it just got legs, and it never lost them.
Yeah, it was great to see. And the YouTube video of you backstage with Vanilla Ice and him, I don't know if he's heard the song before, but you're playing it in front of him, and his face. I mean, you had to watch that video a few hundred times to see his face. It was incredible of how he enjoyed his song being played by you.
It was really awesome to see him go, whoo, and do his hand. And he got chills, like hearing his own song sung by me. And I thought, he even said after the video, he's like, man, that thing gives you chills, man. I was like, I appreciate that, man. What a great compliment. And then beyond that, when we performed, there's actually another video on there of the actual performance. He introduces me, and when he comes out, before I come out, he says, I'm bringing a guy out who, he said, I've heard every version of Ice Ice Baby there is. I've heard the rap version, the country version, the pop version, the metal version, the EDM version. He said, I've heard them all. He said, this is the greatest version I've ever heard. And so I was like, oh, man, no pressure at all there. Wow. And so then I come out, and we play it, and everybody there seems to start vibing with it. And it was a really magical moment that is one of the highlights of my career for sure. I never would have thought when I was growing up as a teenager rapping to Ice Ice Baby that I would be performing on stage with him, and now good friends with Rob. Like, I'll tell you a funny story about how that came. This will be good content here, how that came about. So I'm towing cars. This video is blown up. It's about 2 months in. At this point, I've already started a page because people I had started a page, Marty Ray Project, a long time ago, but never went there because nobody was there to do anything with. So I was like, that's a waste of my time. But then one day I pulled up, I said, you know what? I need to maybe, if this video did so well here, because then all of a sudden Bam Margera is posting it to his website and his Facebook page, and World Star Hip Hop doing the same. And all these massive pages and websites are posting my song and writing articles and stuff about me. And so I said, well, maybe I need to post it on my own page. And when I went to my page, unbeknownst to me, there was already 10,000 people over there that had hit like because of that Ice Ice Baby. And I thought, wow. I said, well, now I need to start posting over here then. So then I started cultivating the audience on my actual Facebook page. So then when I posted that video to my page, it went viral on there too. So everywhere that video would post, it would go viral. It was very strange. It was almost like a magic video or something that anybody could post it and it would go viral. There's one on there's many on Facebook. There's one that has 30 million. There's one that has 15 million. There's one that has 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. There's so many posts of that video on different, or even on my own Facebook page. There's many. But anyway, so with all this happening, there was many people that were reaching out to me, and they were saying, Rob or Vanilla Ice is my best friend, because I didn't know his name was Rob at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew him as Vanilla Ice. So they were saying, Vanilla Ice is my best friend. I'm going to send him your song. Y'all need to collaborate. I said, okay. They said, what's your number? And I said, okay, here's my number. Because what I had to lose? I was running a tow truck, so they could get my number anyway. Anybody could have got my number back then. They could have just looked up Glen Ray's towing, and they would have got my number. So I was like, if nothing else, I'll get a tow out of it. And so I gave like several people my phone number, and then it just so happens that one of them was telling the truth. And it was about 2 months later, I get a phone call. And on this phone call, it's just to me, it's the same as any other because I don't know the number. So I just answer the phone. I say, hey, Glen Ray's towing. How can I help you? And then the other phone says, hey, Marty Ray, like that, you know. And I said, Glen Ray's towing. How can I help you? And then he was like, man, I love that Ice Ice Baby you did, that acoustic one. And I said, thanks so much. I appreciate that. How can I help you? And again, I was like, I don't. Did somebody locally shown my video to this guy? Somehow he got my number. I don't know who this is, but he goes, "Hey, it's Rob." And I said, "Okay, how you doing?"
Tow for you today.
That's why I said, "Do we have your car up here, or
where's your vehicle located?"
Yeah, what do we got? Tire change? What is it?
Or I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Yeah. And then he goes, "It's Rob Van Winkle." I said, "Right on, man. Good to meet you."
You still don't know.
I have no clue. And then he goes, "It's Vanilla Ice." I said, "Okay." I said, "All right." I said, "Prove it. Prove it." And he goes, "Prove it." He's a very cool fella. I love him to death. And then so he said, "I want you to come out to Miami, and we're doing an I Love the 90s tour. I want you to come out and be a part of the show." And I said, "I'll believe it when I see the email." Here's my email. And I gave him my email, and sure enough, it came through. And we went to Miami, and we did it. I like to tell people that Salt and Pepper and Color Me Bad and all those people that I listened to growing up, they opened up for me because I was headlining with Vanilla Ice.
That is awesome.
I just leave Vanilla Ice out. I just say they opened up for me.
There you go.
Right.
So Marty, about a year ago, we asked you to write a song for, our podcast. How long did that take you to write, and how did you come up with those lyrics?
Well, first of all, I had to look up what a Chartplotter was. That's the first thing. So at the first, it was some research that was done. I was like, "What in the world is a Chartplotter?"
The bass guys call it a graph.
Yeah. Well, now I know. I'm very, very skilled about it now. I could write an article about the Chartplotter at this point. But no, so I did my research on because I knew that it needed to be something. I knew that the song needed to try to catch everything y'all were going to talk about in regards to fishing, not just what kind of fishing I did. So I had to look up a few things to try to, like I said, Chartplotter and didn't know much about, because I've never been deep sea fishing, those type of fun things. I never have done that. So I tried to include as much as I could into the song in its entirety that would at least get people excited when they heard it to go, "Oh, this something in here might relate to me. I might like this show." And also, to anytime I write a song, I don't just write. I've done many songs for companies and things like that. And like I told the people originally, I said, I'm not just going to write part of a song ever. I'm going to write the whole song. and y'all can use whatever you want, and we can divide it up for however you want. But the whole song will be there, and you'll have a full song. And so there's it's a full song. I don't know if any of the people that are listening know, but there is a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus to that song. So it's all there, and I like it. Well, I actually like the song. I probably will put it on my album, even as a bonus track.
That's awesome, man.
I think it's going to be cool. I like people to know. I wrote another song for a Netflix show called Slobby's World, and I'm going to put that on my album too. And because why not? I'm not writing songs I don't like, even if it's for a company. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. So it just took research. It took me about a day or two to write. That was it.
Well, that's amazing. You got everything in that little short time frame of really what we've covered and kind of our direction of what we wanted on our podcast. So that was great. So.
And I appreciate that. Anytime that y'all are happy, it makes me the happiest. You know what I'm saying? That is the best.
And, since it's got my name in it, I tell everybody I get 2 cents every time you play it. So
yeah,
I'm up to, I think, 80 cents right now.
Look at you. Golly, man, you're rich, dude. How is it up there?
It starts somewhere, Marty. It's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Quit bragging. Dang.
I only have 10 cents. Marty,
we were talking the other day about something. John was sick or couldn't make a podcast. And I said, John, I'm going to have to get somebody else. And he goes, my name's in the song. I said, well, crap, John, I can get 100 Johns. There's only one Dow.
Yeah, that's true. That's a cut there, man.
Yeah. I'm replaceable easily,
John, you are so replaceable. Dow? I ain't never heard that name. Matter of fact, when I was writing it, I was like, who in the world named this guy?
Who's Doe? I mean, this Doe guy.
I had to ask. This is the truth. I had to ask them because all I got was an email. I was like, Dewey. Is it Dewey? And I was going and I was trying to figure out, I said, I got to figure out how to pronounce this perfectly. So then I had to ask them. I had to say, how do you say that name? And they said, Dow. I said, okay, that's all I need to know. So there was a lot of research done for that song. Just so you know.
It's like Dow Jones, but I'm broke.
No, his stage name is Dewey Van Dinkle. So
Dewey Thornton.
Dewey Thornton.
That sounds like a band. Actually.
Yeah, the Dewey Thornton band. Well, your band is the Marty Ray Project, right?
Yes, sir.
So what's your latest album, since we kind of talked about that a little bit, and do you have any concert dates coming up that you want to plug?
Well, depending on when this airs, I do. I have a show coming up in Nashville at the Mockingbird Theater July 29th, and that's an everybody's VIP show. So the ticket, there's only so many tickets left, but the ticket links are all over my Facebook page. There's an event on my Facebook page that people can join, and there's also a show coming up. Because we do mainly private shows, really, but we every now and then I try to do at least one public show a month. And so in August we have a charity thing in Paragould, Arkansas. Y'all know where Paragould is?
I don't. Nope.
Where are y'all out of?
We're out of Florida.
Florida. I got you.
Yeah, we missed you when you were in Tampa. John lives about an hour north of Tampa, and I'm in Jacksonville. So,
son of a gun! Why didn't y'all come out?
Well.
Y'all didn't hear about it?
We're late to the party.
Yeah.
Slow.
Well, now that I know.
We won't miss it again, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, I know you won't, because now that I know, I'm going to text you directly.
There you go.
And then if I don't see you, I'm gonna get back on to do my own podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Dewey Thornton don't show up. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's gonna go viral, Marty.
That's a soundbite. Oh man, no, but yeah, we have the show coming up in Paragould August 21st. It's a charity called A Ride for Knowledge, and that information is on my website, same as the other one. So my calendar is always on my website. If we have a public thing, I put all the dates on the website there, and that's the way it rolls. And we also, I don't know if y'all knew that, but I actually have my own podcast as well.
Yes. Yep. We were listening to a few of them there the other day.
I gave John a couple of your Fast Five questions, and he didn't want to answer a few of them.
Yeah, there was a belly button one that I skipped on, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
It.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
So yes, we did listen.
You don't want to shoot mustard out of your belly button. I get it. I get it, my friend.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, if he does that, you're going to the doctor. I'm saying, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, but that's not mustard. So.
Yeah, that ain't mustard.
All right. Let's get back on track. So let John, why don't we get to the not so serious questions?
All right, so here we go. Hey, Marty, as a little kid, what was the best Christmas present you received? And then as an adult, what is the best gift you received?
As a boy, the biggest memory I have of a Christmas gift is my dad. One year, my dad he wouldn't let us come into our room, and he was in there for an entire night and all morning. And this was the day prior to Christmas, and we kept trying to go in there, and Mama wouldn't let us go in there, so she actually took us somewhere to eat or something. And anyway, when we got back, it was time to open gifts, and we opened that door, and Daddy had bought every single G.I. Joe that there was, and he had set them all up to where they were standing up on he stood them up on this wood or this board thing, and we had every one of those, and then he had he had like cars, and he had the Cobra base, and all that stuff was there, and everything but the U.S. flag, because that had already stopped being sold at that time when I was a boy. But he had every single thing that you could buy, and we walked in there and just in tears, like, wow. Even though it's as a boy, you're thinking, we didn't just get a couple of G.I. Joe, we got every single G.I. Joe that they made at that point. And we weren't rich, we weren't rich people. We were probably, middle class, but he spent all that money. So that's probably the greatest memory of a gift. It might not be the best gift, most memorable, but it's the I guess it is the most memorable as a kid. As an adult, the greatest gift, Christmas gift, as an adult, what would that be? It's weird when you say as an adult, because you start, I don't know, like it depends on what age you're talking, because the greatest gifts of my life are my children and my wife, but that's not a Christmas gift. But as an adult, you kind of just focus on giving your wife and your children gifts more. So I live off of, that's kind of the joy I get is giving them gifts. So I can't really think of
That's probably the best answer that we got so far, Marty.
Well, give me an answer for y'all. What's y'all's favorite gift that you got as an adult?
As an adult?
Yeah.
I can't say.
Yeah, I can't say. We can move on down. What's the second question now?
Man, y'all get wild over there, down there in Florida. I can't say what gifts that's my favorite.
My wife did give me a guitar this past Christmas, so that was pretty good.
Okay.
Hey, don't be turning the tables here, Marty.
Yeah. This is our podcast.
I want to get into what y'all kinds of, we got to get off air, and I got to get into here.
That's the after hour podcast, Marty. That's the after hour podcast.
Late night. Garmin late night.
What was the first guitar you got?
My first guitar was some random piece of crap off brand when I was young. My dad paid for me to take guitar lessons. I can't tell you how many times, and I can't tell you how many times I didn't do it. So I would do the guitar lesson while I was in front of the person. Great man that was teaching me back then, but didn't really teach me because I didn't take that and go home and practice. The only way you learn anything, you learn at home. You don't really learn in a lesson. It's kind of like church. You don't really grow in church. You grow outside of it. But anyway, I didn't learn for years how to play guitar. I didn't know. And so and then growing up, even as a teenager and an adult, there was times when I would go buy a guitar, cheap guitar, and I would say, all right, I'm going to learn this time. And I wouldn't. I'd never pick it up. But the guitar only costs $150, maybe $200. So there was really nothing. I was like, I'm not wasting too much money anyway, so it's no big deal. So the time when I actually got into when I got into music, I started saying, I started realizing I had all these songs that I had written, melodies and lyrics, but I could not put music to them. I was at the mercy of musicians, and I didn't like that. So eventually I said, I have to learn at least to play music well enough to support my own songwriting. So that's what I did. I said, well, how can I force myself to do this? I went and paid $2,000 for a Martin. And I said, now, I'm not telling people to go do this by no means, but I did it. I paid $2,000 for a Martin, and that kind of, every time I would look at that, and it sounded beautiful. I still play it to this day. But I was like, I have to learn how to play this. I can't own a $2,000 Martin and tell people I can't play it.
Right.
So I learned to play because of that. That drove me. I still don't play out of love. I don't love to play the guitar. I love to write songs, and I love to sing. I play guitar out of necessity. There's people that were put here to play guitar, and his name is CJ Wilder, and he plays with me at every show. So, I play, but he carries the load. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, so I see on a lot of your videos you're playing a guitar. I guess it may be the Martin, but it's autographed. Who's autographed that guitar?
B.B. King, Charlie Daniels, Willie Nelson, Jim
Wow.
Bass. Who else? Tracy Lawrence used to be on it, but my sweat rubbed him off. So he didn't deserve to be there, I guess. That's what you get, Tracy, for not signing me when I asked you to.
That's what you get, Tracy, for not signing in a better spot.
Yeah, you should have signed it in a way better spot, my friend. You'd still be there. The one that there's two now, B.B. King and Charlie Daniels. I'm really contemplating getting another guitar and putting this up at this point because B.B. and Charlie are now both gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I can never get those again. And so I really want to make sure that I don't rub any of those off. Tracy, I can rub him off, but I can't rub BB or Charlie now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Marty, you talked a little bit about fishing as a kid. What was your first boat growing up as a kid?
First boat was just an old John boat. It was old, on them. I don't even know if it had. I don't even know if them things had a brand. Did they have a brand? Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, there's a few of them out there, but back in the day, I don't know if they did or not.
Yeah, they almost seemed homemade. That's really what it seemed like. But I'm sure it wasn't homemade. But they were just old. It was old John boats. I had a couple of those. I would load them up in the back of my pickup truck, and I would take it out on the lake, and I would scull. You know what scull? I'm sure y'all know what sculling is, right? Or is that just an Arkansas thing?
Rowing?
No, sculling is when you take the paddle at the front of the boat and you go back and forth with your wrist. Like you go back and forth. And it actually, that's how we steered the boat with no motor, no trolling motor, no nothing. We'd sit at the front of the boat and put the paddle down in the front, right in the center of the boat in the front. And we would put it down in the water and we would go back and forth with our wrists kind of twisting the paddle, and it would move the boat, and we could steer it that way. Yeah, that's how I did it as growing up. And then my dad bought a low bass boat, and we drove. I used that for years, and then after that one, he sold that one, then got a Fisher, and I used that one for years.
So, fishermen, we have superstitions about the banana. We won't take, you don't get on my boat with a banana or anything like that. Do you have any superstitions before you go up on stage?
Not at all.
None?
Why in the world can you not have a banana? What is that?
That's bad, man. You bring a banana on the boat, you don't catch any fish. You don't know about that? Ooh.
What?
I don't like anything yellow on the boat.
What in the world?
Yeah.
That's a saltwater thing.
You ask Bill. None of us like bananas on the boat.
Don't bring a banana on my boat, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
We talked to who was it, John? Jimmy Buffett's captain.
Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny won't let if you're ordering Fruit of the Looms, he won't let you on his boat because it's got a banana in the logo.
Does he check everybody's underwear and t-shirts?
Well,
He's
that's
like,
a whole
get your
different.
pants off.
Yeah.
Get your pants off before you get on this boat.
If you ever see Jimmy Buffett, ask Jimmy Buffett.
I'm going to ask Jimmy Buffett. I know him personally.
He's a big Garmin guy, and he will. I guarantee. Well, like Vinny said, Jimmy can take anything on the boat Jimmy wants, but Vinny don't like bananas on the boat.
I'm lying though. He's not my. I don't know him at all. Never met him in my life. But when I do meet him, I'm gonna say, John and Dal said no bananas on this boat.
Yeah, just show up with a bunch of bananas.
I'm going to.
See what happens.
See what happens.
I'm gonna matter of fact, every time I get on a boat from now on, I'm gonna walk on eating a banana.
Do it.
Gee.
I dare you.
I will.
You can film it then. That could go
I'm gonna film it
viral.
every time. I want to see.
You will never go saltwater fishing. I'll tell you that.
Guarantee you I will. But where does the banana come from? Like, what does the yellow have to do with anything?
It's just a banana. That's just super. It's been a superstition.
But why though? Is there a reason?
Not that I know.
Accidents. I don't know.
Somebody slipped and fell into the water. I don't know.
We'll go with that.
That is so strange. Man.
I don't know the history of it, but that is one big one.
I have no superstitions at all. I'm not a superstitious person. I believe everything happens for a reason. So that's the way I live. Even a mistake. If it's a mistake, I made it.
Yep.
If I don't catch a fish, it's because I wasn't knowledgeable enough about it. If it was a bad day or the water was too murky, there was many factors. It wasn't because I brought a banana or ate a banana that day. I don't sit at the boat go, man, I shouldn't have ate that banana before we came, man.
I'm full of banana right now.
And I'm sitting there with my buddy like, you ate a banana before we got here, didn't you? Didn't you? You ate a banana, didn't you, son of a... Load up. Let's go. It ain't no use now.
I'll tell you what. You go fishing, you don't catch any fish, you ask the guy if he ate a banana. I guarantee you the answer is yes.
Oh, no. That's good stuff, man. Yep. That is good. I like that. I'm going to bring this up in my podcast when I get some. I'm going to ask.
Oh, that's a whole song, Marty. You could do on bananas and fishing. You know.
There's an actual brand called Banana Boat.
Yep. You can't have that on your boat. You can't bring Banana Boat on my boat.
Yeah.
I want to come fishing with you sometime. I'm gonna sneak a banana in, and when we start just reeling them in, we're just bringing. We got a boatload. I'm gonna pull that out and go, bing. Your superstition was wrong. That's what I want to do. Just hide bananas all over people's boats now.
Jeez, we're starting something. All right, we got to move on. So, hey, Marty, if you could pick anyone in the world to perform with, they could be dead or alive, who would it be?
Well, I would love to perform with Mahalia Jackson. She's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
B.B. King would have been amazing. I was actually hoping that at some point, after I met B.B. King, that I would perform with him. Elvis Presley would have been amazing. Al Green would be amazing now. That's still a dream I have. That's still alive. He's still alive, so that's alive. Garth Brooks. There's a bunch of them. Michael Jackson would have been cool, but there's nobody that I go, man, I need to perform with them. That's my biggest dream. It's not really that. But those people I mentioned, I would definitely love to have got the chance to perform.
I'll get Dow working on you and Garth. We'll see if we can do like a state. You like stadiums, right? You want a big arena, right?
I only play in arenas. Yeah, I only play in arenas.
Okay, we'll work on that then.
We only sell 100 tickets out of the arena, but I play in them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's a good show. Very interesting.
So, Marty, you were talking about your first boat. How about your first fish? Do you remember the first fish that you caught, or where were you?
Wow, no, I don't have that good of a memory. I was a young boy, and it was most likely a catfish because where I'm from, if you weren't catching crappie or brim, then you could always take a pole and you could cast out and just go to the bottom of the lake, and you could get a catfish pretty easy. So that's kind of what we did. If we weren't catching crappie or brim and we couldn't get them to bite, then we would just get an earthworm and, night crawler, throw it on the bottom of the lake, and here come the catfish. They bite, and we pull up catfish.
Bill loves to catfish. I think that's probably one of his most favorite things to do right now.
I'm about to get with him. We got to go. Let him teach me some stuff.
So, Marty, if you could pick anywhere in the world to either fish or perform, where would it be?
Well, I'd love to perform at FedEx Forum, which is in Memphis. I always, from the onset of my career, I always said, someday I'll be back here and I'll sell this arena out. I don't know if that'll ever happen. God will have to make that happen if it does, but that would be a great place. And if I only sold out one arena, it'd be cool if it was that one. As far as fish anywhere, I'd love to do some deep sea fishing at some point. I've never any of the deep seas. I'd love to go fishing there.
All right, we'll hook you up when you come down here.
I'm bringing bananas.
Yeah, well,
I'll bring the bananas. Here he goes. Well, I don't know.
Right.
Maybe we won't hook you up there.
I'm busy that day.
I won't be there, but yeah. You come out with the bananas.
Try the banana thing with Bill Dance first and see how that goes.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a banana. If me and Bill go fishing, I'm bringing a banana on the boat.
So Marty, do you have any funny anything you could share that happened like on stage that was funny? You fell, forgot lyrics or something. Anything?
Just me being up there is funny enough, to be honest with you. So I mean, you go to my shows. If you go back and watch my Tampa Bay show, and I've never fallen. I've never fell. How is it fallen or fail? Fallen is different. Anyway,
depends on where you're born.
English class.
Yeah,
depends on if you know how to speak right or not.
Right.
And I don't. So, but I've never fell on stage. Never. But as far as forgetting lyrics, that happens all the freaking time. Because how in the world am I supposed to remember every lyric to every song that people request and that I have? But people don't really know that I forgot them because sometimes I just make them up. As if I forget them, I
just play through it, right? Just play through it.
All you got to know is the chorus most of the time, to be honest with you. And people will leave going, I never knew that it said that in Let Her Cry. That's crazy. Talked about his mama and stuff. That's weird. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I do. So I guess we always have a good time at my shows. Like I'm a cut up, so I cut up with the audience and I play with them and they enjoy it. Everybody leaves there knowing that we're all family. So
that's good.
Nice. So Marty, me as a wannabe guitar player, what advice would you give me? And I know you learn guitar out of necessity. Is that what it takes?
Oh, I would say give up.
That's
what he had. That's what's happened.
I would just be honest with you. If you don't have a reason to learn it, you're probably never going to learn it. That's just my opinion. So if you have a reason, if you say, you know what, I want to write a song, one song in my whole life, that's my goal.
Wait a second.
Then you'll have a reason.
I got to write this down here. I want to write a song.
You lost him at practice.
You lost him. Practice.
Oh, all righty.
Yeah. Tell yourself you want to write a song for your wife or whatever, and that'll drive you to want to play it, and then go spend you about $3,000 on a guitar.
Yeah. One of the guys we work with, he said, just play in a band. He goes, once you're in a band, you've got to learn it. And I'm like,
yeah. Get you a job in a band right now. They say, you play guitar? Oh, yeah, I play guitar. And they go, this is in the key of G. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, Marty, let's move on. We're going to move on to the next section here, and these are rapid fire questions. So I don't know, we try to keep score with this, but now we never keep score with this. I don't know. How's it go? We got 10 rapid fire questions, each worth 5 points.
Yep.
And if Dow reminds me at the end, Marty, we'll see what your score is. I think, what did Bill Dance get in this, Dow?
You got 42 out of 50.
42. So let's see what you get. You ready, Marty? So these are rapid fire. 10
Wow.
questions. First thing off the top of your head.
Okay, I'm just trying to beat Bill. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite pizza topping.
Sausage.
Favorite snack on the boat before you go on, or before you go on stage. What's your favorite snack?
Banana.
I just knew you were going to say that.
Three things you would bring if stranded on a deserted island.
Bible, lighter, and I don't know, a cheeseburger. My last cheeseburger.
Going out in a blaze of glory. All right.
I was like, this last bite, oh, it's so good. Thank you. And then I got to figure out how to eat pineapple.
So a nickname your parents or friends used to call you.
Doughboy.
Favorite musical group, and you can't pick yourself.
Musical group. My favorite group was Boys to Men.
What?
Boys to Men.
I
Yes.
heard you.
I know that y'all probably don't get down like that, but that's what I grew up listening to. I love those guys. Still to this day, love them.
Okay.
Who's yours? Group.
Foo Fighters for me. Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
Foo
you talking
Fighters.
about a band? You talking about favorite band or favorite group? When I think of group, I think of
What?
us people that sing.
Yeah,
You're splitting hairs
man.
now.
Yeah. We're not that deep, Marty.
Yeah. I mean, Skinner, I guess, is a group as well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't consider it. When somebody says, "What's your favorite band?" Then I go, "Okay, probably Skinner." It's
You
different.
know, I live right down the road from those guys.
Do you really?
Yeah, I live in Orange Park, Florida. So the Van Zants are like 2 miles from my house.
Well, let's go over there and party someday.
Yeah,
take-
they'll do it.
Yeah, well, we'll just bring bananas.
No,
All right, moving on. What hairstyle did you have in high school?
Many. I had a spiked mullet at one point. I had a rat tail at one point. And then I just had the little boy haircut the rest of the time.
we call that the boys to men haircut.
Yeah.
And then I became a man. I shaved it all off.
Yeah, we call that confused teenager. So let's go on. Pick one: super strength or become invisible.
That's tough.
Or become silent.
Or become what?
I said, or become silent.
I'm sorry, I'm invisible. Like you can't hear me. No, I'm invisible. I think I would do invisible.
Okay. What is your most unusual talent?
My most unusual talent.
People may not know this about you. What?
Yeah, I think all my talents are on display. Everything that I've been given is on display. I can't fart the alphabet or nothing like that. So I don't have an unusual. I can't even do the under the armpit type thing. So I don't think I have one. I don't know. I can eat a lot. I eat a lot. That's it.
There you go.
Okay, me too. So,
Yeah.
All right,
fat.
Marty. What was the first poster you had as a kid hanging in your room?
The first poster I had was a Shaquille O'Neal poster as a
Shaq.
kid. Yeah, I was a big Shaq fan, big Orlando fan. I actually met Penny Hardaway at my shop. I told a buddy of his car, he came to my shop in Marion, Arkansas at 3:00 in the morning. It was crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
Penny Hardaway. That was
Penny
back when the Magic were really good.
They were amazing. I was so upset as a boy when Shaq left that I was never a fan of his again, nor was I a fan of basketball again until
Wow.
until Memphis got the Grizzlies from Vancouver. Then I became a basketball fan again, and now I'm not a fan again at all of any sport really. I don't watch any real sport, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that right now.
So
Yeah,
what's Marty's total here? We want to get
Well,
the
you know
total here.
what? With all the mess ups, he got 45 points. So
Boom.
he actually beat Bill.
I think he's the leader in the clubhouse
I
now.
think he is.
let me text Bill real quick. You're a loser. Okay, that's sent. From Dow and John.
Yeah, from me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Marty. We really appreciate you joining us on Behind the Chart Plotter. And everyone, make sure you check out Marty's website, martyrayproject.com, where you can find links to his YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and his podcast, The Marty Ray Project Chats. And Marty, we really thank you. This has probably been one of our most fun podcasts that we've done. We appreciate you doing it with us.
Man, thank y'all for having me. And someday we'll get together and have banana pudding.
There you go. Now, banana pudding we can have. So, hey, yeah, definitely. Big thanks, Marty. Yeah, join us next month on Behind the Chartplotter, where we'll be joined by another special guest. On behalf of John and myself, we want to thank you for joining us. And please download, like, and hit that subscription button. Until next time, we'll see you on the water.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about you. 'Cause our hosts, Dow and John, want to hear about the fishing you do. 'Cause we took our Garmin to the ends of the sea. The radar led us where we needed to be. Nothing we can't find in all the water. We want to hear about the holes and the beds and the reef, the keepers and the roughs and the catch and release. Let's talk about everything from reel to bobber. Behind the chart plotter. Yeah.